The Devil. The Devil card is about earthly material things. It's about your shadow self as well, attachment. Things that can make this card come up upright would be addiction, restriction, sexuality. So when the Devil card comes up in a reading, you can safely assume that someone is choosing gratification, short-term gratification, over the road to their best self. You know how hard it is to be the better person all the time. Self-gratification may be short-term gratification, alcohol, instead of going to AA. Sex addiction, instead of going to get help for that sexual problem. Cheating on their wife, instead of talking to the wife about problems, or making a decision to get divorced, or not cheating. That would be choosing short-term gratification over the greater good. Having bad habits and thinking in relationships. Someone that's always in a bad relationship. They're always in a bad mood. They have the worst habits. They're always negative. The Devil card could come up for something like that as well. It could also come up when it is time to be conscious of all of your vices and your bad behaviors. This card could come up and just let you know that, hey, look, it's time to confront your shadow self. You need to sit down and have a look with yourself and realize that you do have a shadow self, and that this shadow self is in the driver's seat more than your real self. It could also mean if you're having a powerful attachment to a person or a thing even, trying something new, polyamory or BDSM, things like that. It's all fine and good, but this card is just letting you know that there is a risk for danger there. There's a dangerous factor about it, and it's not that the thing itself is dangerous, it's that it's dangerous to you because of who you are. So if you are someone that has a problem saying no, and you've never tried drugs before, maybe you should not be trying cocaine for the first time. This card would come up if you're someone that's starting to experiment maybe with drugs and or polyamory, like I said, BDSM. It's saying within reason, within moderation. It could get out of hand very, very quickly, and you'll be sitting there wondering how you ended up behind the 7-Eleven, scratching behind a trash can, begging for change. It can happen. This is saying a snowball effect could happen. So please be mindful of what you're doing and do everything within reason. People, even if you start to feel that someone is toxic and you're having this really codependent toxic relationship with someone, and you're all of a sudden, who am I? How did I get here? The Devil card would come up, and in a reading like that, if someone was having an issue with a toxic mate, it may have started out in the beginning and it was fine, but they didn't establish boundaries, and they snowballed very quickly. You can really quickly lose yourself and things like that. As you see here, in the Barbara Moore Alice in Wonderland deck, they're sitting here and they have a feast, but you look at it and it's a nice piece of cake, but then the rest of it is trash, and there's a nice teapot, and maybe this is good to eat. You can eat that little thing right there, but everything else is trash amongst it. It's just a mess. There's a lot here, but what can you do with it? It's a smorgasbord of trash. It probably started out very nice, and it's beautiful china and everything, but it went south pretty quickly for them. This one here, I really don't like this card. The traditional Rider-Waite card has, the people have horns, meaning that they're becoming more like the devil. They have tails. This looks like they're at a bad rock concert. To be honest, it looks like she's, oh my god, I can't believe I'm here. This shit kicked in faster than I thought. I should have took it later. This guy, if they don't play Pantera Walk next, I'm fucking wanting my money back. Like, it really does look like a really shitty concert. So, I don't know. I'm not a fan. But anyhow, that's what it is. Upright. Let's reverse it really quickly. So, the Devil card reversed. I'm sorry if these things are out of frame. It's really hard to do this because I can't really see what I'm doing. So reverse, If it came up reversed, it's about releasing limited beliefs, exploring dark thoughts and detachment. And exploring dark thoughts can be very, very, very scary. I don't know if any of you have ever had a dark night of the soul or tried to challenge your shadow self, but your shadow self is one of the most vile bitches that you will ever meet. Okay, your shadow self will scare the hell out of you. And I hate love and lighters. Oh, positive vibes only. Everybody, that's not real. No one has positive vibes only and good vibes only. Everybody has a shadow. And the people that repress that and act like they're always happy and they're always smiling, like that Joel Osteen guy, he makes my skin crawl because nobody smiles 24 fucking 7. Everything he says, he's smiling. It's like the guy's a robot. But anyhow, I digress. You need to conquer your shadow self. If you have repressed desires, if you're homosexual and you're repressing that, this could come up reversed for you. You need to explore what is acceptable for you. If you are a homosexual and that is a life that you want to live, not living that life and living your truth and confronting your shadow self is going to cause you a great deal of pain and imbalance, and it could actually manifest in physical diseases, but that's something different. That's a different subject for a different day. Guilt over the self. This is telling us, are you feeling guilty? Do you need to break free from something? There could be an opportunity where you're ready to grow, but you can't because your old habits and things are holding you down by the ankles. It could be a great relationship, and this guy is your soulmate, and he's great for you, but he's sober, and you are a borderline alcoholic. So what are you going to do? Are you going to go forth in your future and claim this soulmate, or are you going to still let these old ways destroy, any chance of happiness that you have? So this is kind of the gist of that, and certain examples of how this would come up. A business example. If this came up reverse in business, you would ask the person, is there an opportunity for you to grow in your business, but have you been late to work every day? That's a way that you can relate it to that. Is this person late? Are they punctual? Do they not do their work to the best of their ability? There's this opportunity there for them, but they can't grasp it because of who they are as a person, their old ways, their shadow self. So they would have to do some shadow work to be able to shake that to advance to the next level. So there you have it. That is the devil. The Tower card. Now, the Tower card is one of the cards that people fear as well. The Tower card actually can mean death, whereas the Death card does not necessarily mean death. The Tower card is sudden change and chaos and upheaval. It could be a good thing, though. If you have something that's built on the foundation of lies and betrayal and deceit, it could mean that those things are coming to light, and that would be a good thing for you to realize that your reality is a lie. Infidelity, anything like that could come to light with the Tower card. Being able to see people for what they truly are could also be the Tower card. Could be what the Tower card is symbolizing, that you're really going to have some clarity, some painful clarity, but some clarity, and that's always for our greater good. It could be loss of job, infidelity, as I said, loss of savings, sickness. Those things aren't really for our greater good, but it can also mean those things as well. It can also be clarity by force. If you are not willing to take things at face value, and people keep trying to give you warnings and tell you to live your life a different way, or this person is really this way, this is kind of forcing you to accept that. It really is forcing you to just no bullshit, really accept life for what it is, and it will be painful, but you can minimize this. This isn't always how it comes out. I mean, and let's just look at these cards. What is going on in these cards right now? I don't know if it's the fumes from this highlighter that have me irritated, but this card annoys me. The artistry of the card, and look at this. This guy is falling. No one gives a shit. Everybody's in a pile down here. Imagine if you were interviewing this group. What is going on? This guy, I want to give a shout out to all my friends. His mom's like, stop it, you're embarrassing me. This person just can't even. They're not even saying anything. It's just a sound. They just cannot. This person, and then I was like, whatever, and the bitches, whatever. This person, this is a Christian in the group, he's praying instead of getting water and trying to help put his home out. And this guy, look at the look on this guy. He did that shit. That's why he looks like that, because he set that fucking fire and he is guilty. So this card is just, I don't know, I've never seen a tower card like this. But anywho, if you look over here to the Alice in Wonderland card, this card is almost like the reverse, because here she is the destructive force. She is tearing it down. Here, she has invoked her inner Real Housewife of Atlanta, and she has set this shit off. Look, stuff's flying everywhere, so she is in control of her destruction, which is kind of what it means in reverse. So if we look to this in reverse, that is what it means. So in reverse, it means that you are doing, it's a personal transformation. You are the one that is tearing down your reality, and you're re-examining everything. And this can be a really scary process, but this card is giving you a preemptive warning that maybe this is what you need to do, or this is what you're currently going through. If you have a job, and this is a job reading, am I cognizant that everything at work is how it seems? I'm working for this company, and I really like it, but there's some kind of shady practices there. Are they treating their employees fairly? Are they embezzling money? Is your boss a good person? There's a lot of questions that you can ask when this Tower card comes up in reverse. It's a warning. Big change is coming, and it's time to investigate how to mitigate those changes. That way you do not have to deal with a burning building. You can stop it before it gets too crazy if you start to be able to pick out the cracks. This is looking for the cracks. If it comes up reversed, I mean, that is just such a blessing if it comes up reversed, because if it's coming up reversed, it's letting you know, hey, change is coming, but you have the skill set to determine and pick things apart before it gets too bad. You can put this fire out while it's small, and that's why it's reversed, because you are the type of person that can look for smoke before there's a fire. So having it come up reverse is really a godsend. And that's how I would portray that to the person. Like, change is coming. It's going to be big, but you don't have to be blindsided by it, because you are the type of person that can do introspection. Start looking at people in your life. If it's a love reading, or someone just wants a general reading, look at the people in your life. Really, do you know who everyone is? Do you know everyone's intentions for you? Do you know your job? Do you know the place that you work for? Start really looking at everything. Look at your finances. What financial health are you in? Reevaluate your stocks and investments. Have you checked on your mutual funds lately? Have you checked your 401k? Cross all T's and dot all I's when this card comes up reversed, and you should be okay. You should really be okay and be ahead of the game. And that is the Tower card. The Star card. The Star card comes directly after the Tower, and the Star card is appreciation for all, kind of like renewed faith, a renewed view. You know how refreshed you would feel if you just went through a house fire and you lost everything that you had ever owned, and somebody gave you a free motel for 6 months while you got your affairs together, but that motel had roaches. You would not even give a shit about those roaches. You would be tucking them in at night and reading them a bedtime story, because you would be so happy and so appreciative just to have a place to stay. And that's the Star card. It's rebirth after trials and tribulations, renewed hope, faith. You're grateful for life. You have an appreciation for everything. Nothing can bother you. You're just so happy. And I know everybody can think of an instance in that. Maybe you survived a car accident, and then after that you're floating on air and you're telling everyone you love them, and no longer road raging. You just have this renewed lease on life. In that form, you are vibrating at your highest, your purest and highest vibration, your highest frequency. When you are vibrating from something that is that high and that pure and that strong, through the laws of attraction, you are rendering anything possible. When you are in that frame of mind, in that state of being, which is kind of hard to do. It's sad that it takes a tragedy for us to vibrate like that. We have to be reborn. We have to be purged from fire. We have to be the phoenix that rises from the ashes to be able to vibrate at that frequency. But when you are, anything is possible through the laws of attraction. So if you ever get the blessing of pulling the star card and it's telling you that you're there, this is real for you, you're at your highest, anything is possible then it is time to really work on manifesting anything that you want. If you want a new career, manifest it. New man, manifest it. You can do anything when this card comes up, because you are in your purest alignment, or your querent is in their purest alignment. And also another thing to ask, if the star card has come up in a reading for your querent, ask them what they just went through, because you know what the star card comes after. Ask them, have you just gone through something really terrible, some destruction? Have you lost something that kind of renewed your faith in life? They will think that you're psychic. It's not that you're psychic, you're just good at reading cards, which is what you're supposed to do. Also, when you're in this frame of mind, you want to give others your new lease on life. And this is when you see people going and testifying in church, and they want to get up and they want to tell their story at the end of the church, when you're allowed to get up, and not the part where you're doing backflips down the aisle, and not the part where you're putting 10% of your income in the preacher's pocket. But after that, they usually have a little section where you're allowed to go up and tell your testimony. That's the star card. Like you want to tell everybody this great thing that has happened to you, whether it's through God or whatever you believe in, and you want to give others hope. That is the star card. Now, if this were reversed, then that would mean that we need to kind of look inwards. Do we have a lack of faith? Are we in a state of despair? Are we in a state of why me? Are we disconnected? I like to think of when the star card comes up reversed, I think you need to have the patience of Job in the Christian Bible. The patience of Job. That is one good cheat sheet thing to remember when the star card is reversed. You need to have the patience of Job. Do not lose your faith. Whatever it is you believe in, don't be swayed from it. Stick to it and believe that it is going to carry you out of this. This is not going to last forever, whatever you are going through. You're struggling to find happiness, and everything that used to make you happy doesn't make you happy anymore. You're disconnected from spirit. You're disconnected from yourself. Work hard to reconnect. If that means you need to go on vacation, then do that. Reconnect. Get in nature. Walk barefoot in grass. I know that sounds hippie-ish and phony, but it really does help you connect. Go swimming, be in trees, hug a tree, really reconnect. You need energy. If you're running out of steam, then you have to take care of yourself. And that is what the star card reverse is telling us. The moon card. Now, the moon represents the subconscious, and it can also represent secrets. It represents intuition. If you notice, the moon is only illuminating the card slightly, just being able to allow them to see where they're going, but not much further. So they have to keep going on their journey with faith that they'll see a little bit further as they walk along. When the moon card comes up, if you're dealing with a decision, or your querent is dealing with making a decision, they need to be conscious and understand that maybe they need to go back and reread things. It's not a time to rush. It's possible that they don't have all of the information. It's not that people are being deceitful. It can be secrets, but it's more so that you probably don't have all the information, or you have mental blocks that are keeping you from seeing the truth. The truth is there, but you are not seeing it because of what you have going on internally. The moon card can also represent repressed emotions. It could represent trauma, things that are buried beneath the surface. Sometimes we keep acting out our trauma on people. There's a great quote that says, if you do not heal what hurt you, you'll bleed on people that didn't cut you. And that is an amazing way to remember the moon card. You really need to deal with your repressed trauma, if there is any, and get to the root of it. That way it stops haunting you. Your subconscious is always going to surface. When we're triggered, that's our subconscious. Something happened to us earlier in life and we buried it and we get triggered, as we say, and it comes up and it makes us react in a certain way. We lash out or we become distant. It triggers us. It's almost like it's an involuntary reaction, and it happens super fast. You don't want to be triggered. So this is the Moon card. It's kind of letting us know that we need to get in touch with our subconscious, deal with anything that's brewing under the surface. If we need to go to therapy to do this, then we need to do that. If we have any abuse or anything in our past, it's time to deal with it. If the cards were to be reversed, then that's just letting us know that we're really trying not to deal with this. Or it could be that you have been dealing with it and now sunnier days are ahead. You're dealing with your trauma and you're working through it. You're listening to your intuition. You're being guided by it. You're checking your I's and crossing your T's. You're doing everything that you need to do, and you are healing and you're moving on the right direction. It could also mean that you need to figure it out for your querent and in relation to the cards around it. But it can also mean deep, deep repression, refusal to go inside. This is what the Moon card reversed is telling us. The Sun. The Sun is a great card. It's never negative. Even if it's reversed, it's still not negative. This card is just, think of all that the Sun embodies. Summer, warmth, fun, going to the beach, all these amazing things that happen when summer comes along. That's what this card is. It's like a fresh breath of summer. The Sun is telling you that you have a vibrant personality. If this comes up for someone in a reading, either them or maybe someone they're asking about is a beacon of light, of positivity, of fun, of kindness. People flock to this person for their positivity, and they're normally stable, normally have a stable temperament. This is their normal state. If it's a love reading, it's a great time to date because the Sun card is out. It's happiness, vitality, life, fun. I can't say fun enough. If this card would be reversed, the reason I say it's still not a bad thing, because it could be telling you that it's time to have more fun. It's time to play. It's time for you to go out and explore new things. Maybe you've been repressing yourself and it's time to just cut loose a little bit within reason. You don't want to go too far, and even though the Sun is a good thing, too much of it could hurt you. So are you having too much fun, or are you too egotistical? Are you too positive, too fake positive? Like, keep it real, keep it reined in, and keep it balanced. The Sun card is always a good, fun, and welcomed thing. It's always a good card, and it just brightens up my day when I see the Sun card pulled in relation to anything, because it's positive, and it really, really means that this person is on the right path, or the person that they're asking about is on the right path. Read my lover. Well, if this came out for their lover, I'd be so happy for them. The Sun card really is a great, great card. The Judgment card. The Judgment card is heeding the call. Some people call it the call of God. You've been called. Do you hear the calling? Calling of your higher self, knowing that what you are doing is not representing your higher good, your higher self. If you're seeing this card, and I love this one, the person here is a two-dimensional card. And then here you have the rabbit is blowing the trumpet, and it's calling him to step forth and become a real man. Now he is a three-dimensional being here, and that really is what it symbolizes. Letting go of things that are not serving your higher good, and doing whatever it takes to shake those things and become the best version of yourself. There are other cards in the deck that are also calling for this, but this one is specifically that. You're being called to be the best version of yourself, and things are going to start going awry if you do not heed that call. You have to heed it, because if you don't, destruction is coming. Things are going to start going wrong. Relationships are going to start failing. You have got to connect with your higher self, because you are being called for service. You could also be called to teach. If you have been in touch with your higher self and you are doing the right things, maybe it's time for you to teach and share that message with other people so they too can be free and be motivated. If it were to come up reversed, it's asking you to reevaluate your life. Are you proud of everything that you've done? If you were to look back at everything you've done in your life, are you proud? Are there things you can change? Are there things that you can make atonement for? Do you need to apologize to somebody? Do you need to apologize to yourself? This card is about introspection. It really is. Introspection and retrospection. You really need to do both. If this card comes up reversed, it's a second chance. It's a chance to look at yourself and look at your situations and say, what have I missed? If I haven't missed anything, who can I help? Who have I missed? Who can I help? How can I help? How can I serve the greater good? And that is the basis of judgment. And the final card in the major arcana is the World card, and that is the situation we are in right now, completion. The World card means completion. You have gone through all of these trials and tribulations. Look at where you started at, the Fool, to now, to completion. You've completed it. This is the end of the line for you, an achievement of a goal, an attainment of a relationship maybe that you were hoping to have. It's happiness. I know that it doesn't look like that here. I am just so done with these cards. My best friend gave these to me for my birthday, and I absolutely love them, and I think they are so beautiful. But there's a couple of them that just really either make my skin crawl or my butt just knot up. I have no idea what this means. Like, if you look at the Rider-Waite, she doesn't have 17 little kids under her skirt. My God, anyhow, I digress. So the World means completion. You've completed it. You've attained your goal, happiness. It really is a happy card. Like, you're just floating on air because everything that you could ever dream of has happened. You are now living in the result of all of your hard work, all of your pain, all of your sweat, all of the things that have gone wrong, how many times you had to start over. This is the end. This is the end of that, and is completion and wholeness. If this card were to be reversed, it could suggest that you need closure. Maybe you haven't moved on from a relationship that you thought would last forever, a divorce. It could be the loss of a child. Whatever it is that you're holding on to that is keeping you from moving forward, you need to find closure for it. If this card comes up reversed, if it was a career reading, if someone lost their job and they were wanting to know what the future holds for them career-wise, you need to get over what happened to you in the past to be able to look forward to the future and manifest what you want from this point on. And also, too, the World card upright is another great card, meaning that your energy is perfectly in alignment with your higher self. You're vibrating at your highest frequency. And again, the laws of attraction garner that if we are vibrating from that frequency, anything is possible here. So if it's upright, it's a great card. Anything's possible here. You are vibrating at your highest peak frequency. It's an amazing card to have upright. If it's reversed, let's just work on closure. Let's work on having our client work through what they need to attain closure on. If it's for us, what are we holding on to? What are we holding on to? What can we let go of so that we can move on? Have we finished everything? Did we start a project and we just haven't finished it? And if we finished it, our life would be so much better. It would be so much easier. We would have closure if we finished that. So it's time to reassess what's open, the open tabs in your brain, and closing them all and attaining completion so we can turn this right side up and feel proud and feel accomplished and really manifest anything we want from this amazing high frequency and being. And that concludes the major arcana. If you have made it this far, it is time to have a celebratory drink, a wine, a smoke, whatever it is you do that are your vices. I approve. Do that shit. Do it all. And I will see you all next week for the minor arcana, and we'll start with, I don't know, maybe we'll start with cups. But be blessed, and I will see you soon.